guys, today I am going to take you through a short ankle mobility and stability sequence. You don't need too much today other than if you've got a rolling pin or maybe like a little massage ball, that would be handy, or alternatively you could use like a golf ball or a tennis ball, whatever you've got to hand, but otherwise just yourself, a mat if you have one, or some space on the floor. And whenever you're ready, come and join me in Tadasana. So we're going to focus on helping get the ankles mobilised, stretch them off, look after them, kind of rehabilitate them if you like a little bit so that they're stronger and more mobile for you when you're doing your other things during CrossFit. So if you stand in Tadasana, we're just going to start off by training the ankles, and there's two ways to do this. You can either just lift one foot off the floor and slowly rotate the ankle a couple of times in one direction, or you can place the toes face down if you like on the floor and just rotate the knee around so that you're kind of getting a stretch within the toes as well as the ankle as well. And just do sort of 10 circles or so on each foot, whichever is comfortable for you. No option is right or wrong. And then make sure that you do the other foot as well. So choosing whichever option is comfortable for you, again on the other foot. Try and do the same one on both sides. You might find though that one side's maybe a bit more awkward than the other, or feels a bit tighter or stiffer. And again, just 10 or so circles on the other foot. Slowly come back to the center, and we're just going to do 10 toe raises. So you're going to inhale as you lift up onto your toes. This helps with stability within the ankle joints, but also within the feet. Your feet are working hard here to help maintain your stability. And then exhale to lower, and we're just going to do that 10 times in your own breath, with your own time. So inhale to lift, exhale to lower, and really try and reach up and lift the body away from the floor onto the tip of your toes, and then come back down. The higher you go onto your toes, the more you'll probably feel it in your ankles, working harder to stabilize and lift the body. And you might find that you'll hear a few clicks and cracks as your ankles adjust and realign to the movement. Just a couple more, I've lost count. So I'm just going to do 2 more of those. And then I'm going to stretch my toes as well. So the ankle is part of a joint that obviously sits on top of your foot. If you've got stiffness and tightness within your foot, that could be reverberating up foot and into the ankle and causing issues there too. So make sure you look after the entire foot as well. So toe stretches, we're just going to move the body weight over onto the left leg, and then take the right foot and place the toe on the floor and just gently push a little bit of weight through that side of the body into the top of the foot. And you should feel this stretching in the front of your toes, but also up the front side of your foot and maybe up into your ankle a little bit as well. And just add as much weight as you need to. Just be careful doing this, don't overstretch it. You can even just rock gently so you're releasing and then adding more pressure. And just hold here for about 5 breaths. You're probably on your second or last breath now. And then just gently turn the foot back round. You might want to just roll the ankle out slightly, and then we'll move the body weight over to the right side and lift the left foot up, and again do the same on the other side. So just gently adding that pressure through that leg so that you're increasing the weight. And then if you want to rock back and forth, just add some sort of dynamic movement to the foot. And again, you should feel this along the front of your toes definitely, but also up into the front side of the foot and into the front of that ankle as well. Just don't overdo it, just be very gentle. And then slowly come back, shake it all off. And then we're going to come down into a toe squat. So come down onto your hands and knees, tuck your toes under, so keep your toes flat on the floor and bring your knees to the floor. So your toes are tucked under your foot, and then just sit your body weight back onto your heels. And you should feel this stretch in the underside of your toes as well. And if you wanted to, we're going to sit here for about 10 breaths. So if you wanted to do like a shoulder stretch or an arm stretch, as well as this, you could multitask at the same time. Maybe do 5 breaths on one arm. And then take another 5 breaths whilst you're stretching out the other arm. And this should feel pretty uncomfortable. You might find it gets too uncomfortable and you have to come out of it early. If you do, just release off, shake it out and come back and keep accumulating those breaths until you're ready to release at the end of the 10. One last deep breath all the way in. Exhale completely and then just release the toes. Oh, that feels good. And then slowly come back. We're going to come into ankle rocks now. So tuck the toes out from underneath you and sit back onto your heels. This for some of you might be enough. This might find if you've got particularly stiff ankles or tight quads, this could be quite intense for you already. Slowly increase the stretch within the front of the ankles. So you're slowly going to lift the knees off the floor. And you can do that with your hands either by your side or take your hands behind you and just lean back into your hands. Take a couple of deep breaths here. And then slowly start to rock. So you're releasing and intensifying the stretch. We'll just do about 10 of these ankle rocks. And then on the last couple, you're going to try and take your left hand to your left knee and keep lifting, and then take your left hand back, take your right hand to your right knee, keep lifting, take your right hand back, and then see if you can do both hands to both knees and then release. And that should be quite intense for your ankles if you've got dodgy ankles like I have. So we're going to tuck the toes back under and we're going to come back up to a standing position now, and we're going to work our way into tree pose. So tree pose is a particularly good pose for helping build stability and strengthen in the ankles. We're going to start by taking our body weight over to the left side. So put all the weight through your left leg and you're going to lift your right leg up. You've got option 1 to place the heel against the ankle of the left leg. So you're turning your legs out at a 90-degree angle, so the right knee shooting out towards the short edge of the mat for me at the moment. Option 2, you can take the foot up higher and place it against the calf, wherever is good for you. Option 3, you can lift the foot up as high as your thigh and place it on your inner thigh. And just make sure that those legs shoot out the same way. So wherever you're comfortable, just make sure that it's not against your knee. We need to protect those knee joints. So wherever you're comfortable, put your foot there. I tend to teach from the calf just because it's easier for me to balance and there's less distraction for you watching me wobble about everywhere. So if this is where you want to stay and not worry about the arms for now, you're more than welcome. If you need to hang onto a wall, you can do as well. So wherever you're comfortable, place the foot there. Then with the hands, bring the hands to your heart, palms together. Option 1. Option 2, take the hands above your head. Stretch the fingers out high. And then option 3, see if you can take your eye gaze up towards the ceiling. Maybe even towards your fingertips, wherever you are. Ooh, and it adds a whole new dynamic to this posture. See if you can hold for 3 breaths. Really squeeze those glutes. Squeeze those thighs so that you're pulling that leg back in that 90-degree angle. Really work that ankle, and you can feel it probably working quite hard in your ankle now. And then when you've done your 3 breaths, just exhale to relax. We're going to take the feet out wide and we're going to do a garland squat in between tree poses. So inhale as you lift the hands up above your head, heel toe your feet out to your squat stance, and then exhale as you sink down into garland pose. So you're going to pull your body through, use your elbows to push against your knees and pull your body through your legs and lift your chest up high. So this pose is particularly difficult if you've got bad ankle mobility. Your feet should be flat on the floor, so you should be sitting back in your heels. If you're not able to get your heels to the floor, that's fine, work on it. You can always grab a block or a book, whatever you've got available at home, and place your heels on the block if you need to, so that you have that good posture and you're not balancing around in midair. So whatever you need to do, be there, and we'll just hold for 5 breaths, breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. And this is also good for your hips as well, so it's another multitasker pose. Again, last breath all the way in, exhale completely, and then plant your hands on the floor, heel to your feet back underneath your hips. Inhale to lift all the way back up to standing, and we'll come to tree pose on the other side. So this time you're moving your body weight over to your right leg. You've got your options. Option 1, heel on the ankle. Option 2, foot to calf. Option 3, stack the foot as high as the thigh. Squeeze those glutes, shoot the legs out at that 90-degree angle, and then start to add the arms in. So hands can come to heart. Hands can go up above the head. And finally, option 3, take your eye gaze up to those fingertips and just hold here for 3 deep breaths. You might find one side's better than the other. You might find you just can't do it one side and you can on the other. That's perfectly normal. And then exhale, release, shake it off, roll those ankles out, and then we're going to come into a lunge pose. So you could do this against a wall. If you've got a wall available, you can press against it. Basically, you're going to step 1 foot forwards, 1 foot back, bending at the knee in that back leg. You're going to push the heel down towards the ground. So you should feel a stretch in the back of your calf. So it's a calf stretch to begin with. Again, the calf is linked to the ankle. All those muscles down the back of your leg kind of go down and under the heel. So they're all working around the ankle joint. So really press into the ground with that big heel, load it up, open up that calf, try and really stretch it off. And keep that leg nice and straight. Hold here for about 5 breaths. Again, breathing in through the nose and out through the nose, because it activates our parasympathetic system, which is your stress relief system. It calms your body down. And in calming your body down, hopefully you're going to calm it down enough to allow the muscles to relax and release in the way that you want them to. And then when you've taken your 5 deep breaths in that position, we're just going to drop the knee in. So bend at the knee and drop the knee down, and you'll feel the stretch will change from the back of the calf, and it will come kind of down the side of your ankle and into your foot a little bit as well. So just hold here again for 5 deep breaths. Again, if you want to press against the wall, you can. So this is a good one to do if you've been running, post-run stretch, particularly if you've been out on the trails. And one last breath all the way in. And then step the feet together and switch over. So we're going to step back now with the left leg, or whichever leg you just haven't done, and press that heel. So we're coming back to that calf stretch. So press that heel down to the ground. Take a couple of breaths here, so 5 breaths again. Pushing through the leg, straight back leg, pushing the heel into the ground. You should feel this in your calf and down the back of your ankle maybe. Stretching off those muscles. And then when you've taken your 5 deep breaths, drop that knee in, transfer that stretch now into the side of your foot, into the side of your ankle. And you should feel this kind of both sides, so you should feel it kind of on the outside, maybe slightly more towards the front on the outside, and then on the inside edge, you should feel it maybe just behind that kind of ankle bone into the kind of foot around there. And again, you're here for 5 deep breaths. So just take another couple of breaths. Last deep breath all the way in. And then exhale as you step the feet back together. Now if you have your rolling pin or ball to hand, this is another good one I'm going to show you quickly to do. You could do it while you're watching TV, or you could just spend a few minutes doing it like we're about to now. Place your foot, so take one foot back, find a steady place. You could do this seated if you wanted to. I'm just going to literally roll my foot out on top of this rolling pin, so that we're kind of massaging the underneath of the foot. So like I said earlier, you've got all your ligaments and tendons going on in your legs that kind of come down and wrap themselves underneath the heel, and they're the ones that kind of are around the ankle area. But you've also got ligaments and tendons in the foot as well, and if they're tight, the likelihood is that you're going to find a tightness or stiffness higher up the foot and into the ankle joint, where those ligaments kind of start to attach themselves to the different body parts. So just roll the foot out, and actually it feels quite nice. It's quite a relaxing thing to do. Maybe do 10 breaths one side, and then when you've had enough, we'll just switch over and do the other side. And this is really good just for general foot health anyway, getting those muscles kind of a bit more loose and relaxed, just looking after them, rehabilitating them, making sure, because our feet work hard, right? We're on them all day, every day, mostly, doing different things. And when do you ever stop to stretch your feet or your ankles? When do we ever take the time to take care of those body parts? And they're probably the hardest working body parts that we have. So we'll just do a couple more reps on this side. Take one last breath all the way in, and then release. And just put the rolling pin to one side. And we're going to come down to the floor, so work our way down to the floor. We're coming into reclined hero. So there's a couple of options for you guys here. First of all, option one, if you've got particularly tight quads or ankles, then you might just find sitting in a kneeling position uncomfortable enough, and you might just want to spend some time here, easing into those muscles before you go on to the next stage. Option two, take your heels out just slightly so they're wider than your hips, and your bum can kind of slide down and rest on the floor in between your feet. If this is really uncomfortable for you, or you're finding there's any pain in your knees, stop, come back up. If you're not quite on the floor, you could always use a block like this to help you find that halfway house, or you could use a pillow if you haven't got a block at home. So wherever you're comfortable, find that. And then from there, you can then kind of recline back. So we're coming back. So if you're still upright and you haven't got your bum to the floor, stay here. If you want to go further, start to walk your hands behind you and open up the body and come all the way down until eventually you might be in this reclined pose. And this should really help stretch your ankles out, stretch your quads out, open up that front body as well. And just generally feel quite nice once you've got there and you've let the body go and relax into this pose. And just stay here for about 10 breaths. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Or as long as you want to stay. And then when you've taken those 10 breaths, just gently bring yourself back up to seated.